Good morning and welcome to my overgrown cottage garden in Cornwall. Today I thought I'd outline my top 3 pest and disease concerns that I've got going on in the garden. So number 1, and I'm sure a lot of people who grow rhododendrons will have the same problem, and that is vine weevils. So you can see on my rhododendron here where we have some chunks missing from the leaves, and that is where the adult vine weevils have been munching on them. So the adult vine weevil bugs, they tend to live on the underside of the rhododendron leaves, and they don't really cause much damage. It's mainly cosmetic, so they'll munch little sections of the leaves away like that. There's probably a few more areas like that there where you can see they've been feeding, but it's not the adult vine weevil bugs or beetles that you need to be concerned about. It's the grubs that live in the soil. So basically the vine weevils will lay eggs in the soil. So I've got all my plants in pots here, and the adult vine weevils will lay eggs in the soil there, and it's when they hatch into little grubs and start munching on the roots of the rhododendron that's when real damage can be caused. And basically once they eat the roots of the rhododendron away, it will effectively just wither away and die. And I've had this happen on quite a few rhododendrons, and you can tell when the leaves start to shrivel up, go brown, and then ultimately the plant dies. And they tend to prefer potted plants, especially rhododendrons and heucheras as well. So I'm always a little bit concerned about that, because I've lost a couple of rhododendrons in the past due to that. And the only real solutions you've got are biological or chemical control, so nematodes or pesticides. Now, I wouldn't normally advocate the use of pesticides, but I do use pesticides as like a drench for my potted rhododendrons. It's the only plant I do use it on, but it's the only control method I found that actually works. And basically you give your potted rhododendrons a drench with the pesticide solution in mid-June and mid-August, and that will then control the numbers of grubs in the soil. And my second concern, and it is a big concern because it's over the last 3 years it's been happening. Up until that point it didn't really happen, but this is, you can see this knobbly bit here on my fuchsia. That is Fuchsia Gall, caused by the Fuchsia Gall mite. And basically what happens is the plant becomes infested with these small mites which suck the sap out of the fresher, sort of fleshier growth, and you end up with these knobbly, distorted leaves and flowers. It doesn't actually kill the plant, but it can make it look incredibly unsightly, and it has become more of a problem over the last few years. And basically the way to control that, well, there's 2 ways. First of all is to make sure that your fuchsias aren't stressed, so make sure they're well fed, well watered, not root bound, anything like that, because that gives them the best chance of being able to resist pests like this. Another method you can use is a biological method using, I can't quite remember what it's called. I think it's called Amblyseus andersonii. It's a type of predatory mite which feeds on the gall mite, and you hang little sachets around and they'll come out and predate the Fuchsia Gall mites. Haven't actually tried that method. It's quite expensive, I think, so, but I will probably try that at some point if the problem gets worse. And also I've found that certain fuchsia varieties are more susceptible to it. So this fuchsia here is called Benisa hardy, and it seems to suffer more than the Fuchsia delta Sarah, which doesn't seem to have that problem at all actually. Over here we've got my fuchsia, or one of my fuchsia Mrs. WP wood, and I know 2 years ago this got ravaged by Fuchsia Gall mite, but currently can't see any on there, so that's just a bit of dodgy budlia. But yeah, that plant has had it quite bad in the past, but it's actually free of it now, which is good. Thirdly, over here on my Star Jasmine, I'm not actually entirely sure what the problem is, or whether it's actually a problem at all, but you can see on the leaves here they've got all these yellow spots and it's spreading all over the plant. I mean, if you look at this leaf over here, it really is suffering. Well, I don't know if it's suffering, but it really has lost a lot of its dark green colour. You can see it coming through on the underside of the plant there. But basically, when I bought this Star Jasmine 5 years ago, all of the leaves were this uniform green, and now it's sort of taking on this strange, almost variegated pattern, and I don't know whether I should be concerned about it or not. I tried looking it up online and I couldn't really work out exactly what it would be, so I've come to the conclusion it's either going to be leaf mosaic virus or some form of some kind of spider mite infestation. Either way, I'm not entirely sure how to treat this, or whether I can just leave it and it'll improve. I don't honestly know. So if anyone else has had the same experience with their Star Jasmine, I'd be very interested to hear how you've gotten on with it. Other than that though, there's not too many problems going on in the garden, apart from the usual ones like a bit of black spot on the roses. I mean, that's to be expected because all it's done is rain. It's been very damp. Hope everyone else is having a reasonable time with pests and diseases in their garden. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next one.